Is this the quiet comeback no one saw coming? Why did V suddenly re-enter the global digital artist ranking? And why is Apple Music the real clue everyone missed? Asterisk, asterisk, what if the real story isn't the rank itself, but how it happened? What if the numbers people casually scroll past are actually whispering something much bigger? Why did V, Kim Taehyung, reappear in the top 175 of the global digital artist ranking at this exact moment, climbing 31 spots in one move, without a loud promotional push, without a viral controversy, without a dramatic headline, yet leaving behind undeniable data? And why does one platform, Apple Music, suddenly stand out as the quiet engine behind this resurgence? At number 172, with a total of 272 points and Apple Music alone contributing a striking 110 points, V's return is not just a ranking update. It is a signal, a clue, a reminder that influence doesn't always scream. Sometimes it accumulates, platform by platform, listener by listener, until the numbers speak louder than any press release ever could. This is not just about a chart position. This is about strategy, fan behavior, global listening habits, and the evolving definition of digital power in music. And most importantly, this is about why V's name keeps reappearing in global conversations even when he seems, on the surface, to be moving quietly. Hashtag the moment that made people look twice when the global digital artist ranking refreshed and V's name appeared at number 172, marked with a plus 31 jump. Reactions spread instantly across fan communities. The surprise wasn't that he ranked, it was how efficiently he climbed. 31 positions is not an accident. It doesn't happen because of one good day. It happens because of consistency, diversified streaming, and a fan base that understands how digital ecosystems actually work. The total score, 272 points, might seem like a simple number to casual observers. But within ranking systems, every point is a reflection of sustained activity across platforms. And when Apple Music alone accounts for 110 of those points, it becomes impossible to ignore where the momentum is coming from. This wasn't a flash trend. This was accumulation. Hashtag why Apple Music is the loudest quiet clue in an industry often dominated by Spotify narratives. Apple Music's role in V's ranking tells a different story. Apple Music is not a platform driven primarily by public playlists or viral loops. It thrives on library saves, repeat listening, and long-term engagement. When an artist scores heavily there, it suggests something deeper than curiosity. It suggests loyalty. The fact that Apple Music contributes the highest portion of these points indicates that listeners aren't just sampling his music. They're keeping it, returning to it, living with it. This kind of engagement reflects a mature audience, global reach, and cross-regional stability. It also highlights something often overlooked in fandom conversations. Diversification matters. Relying on one platform limits impact. Spreading listening habits across multiple services builds resilience. V's ranking quietly proves this principle in real time. Hashtag a plus 31 jump without noise. Why that matters in today's digital culture. Visibility often comes from spectacle, viral clips, controversies, or algorithmic explosions. V's climb, however, happened without chaos.
No sudden scandal.
No forced promotion. Just steady numbers. That's what makes the plus 31 jump significant. It suggests organic growth rather than artificial spikes. It tells industry watchers that V's music continues to circulate globally even when he isn't actively pushing it into the spotlight. This is the kind of performance labels respect, platforms notice, and analysts take seriously. Hashtag the global digital artist ranking as a mirror of real influence, unlike charts tied to a single platform. The global digital artist ranking reflects cumulative digital presence. It measures how an artist exists across ecosystems, not just within one app's algorithm. V's return to the top 175 with 272 points demonstrates balance. Apple Music leads, but other platforms contribute. This means his audience isn't confined. It's spread across regions, habits, and listening cultures. That's what global means in 2026. Not dominance in one space, but presence everywhere. Hashtag fans as strategists. Not just streamers, one of the most overlooked aspects of this achievement is fan behavior. The reminder circulating alongside the ranking. Diversifying your streaming across multiple platforms is essential. Be consistent is not random advice. It's a reflection of learned experience. Modern fandoms are data literate. They understand weighting systems, platform differences, and long-term impact. V's ranking proves that fans are not just pressing play, they are making intentional choices. Consistency across Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, and other platforms ensures that digital presence doesn't collapse if one algorithm shifts. It builds a foundation that rankings like this reward. Hashtag why this comeback feels different. V has appeared on rankings before. That's not new. What feels different now is the timing and the tone. There's no aggressive rollout attached to this ranking. No announcement framing it as a victory. Yet the data speaks. This suggests sustainability rather than hype. It implies that even during quieter periods, V's catalog continues to perform. And in the music industry, catalog strength is power. Artists who rely only on new releases burn fast. Artists whose older work continues to generate points climb slowly but steadily. V's current position reflects the latter. Hashtag the emotional undercurrent fans can't ignore for fans. Seeing V re-enter the top 175 isn't just about numbers. It's reassurance. It confirms that his artistry still resonates globally, that his absence from constant headlines hasn't weakened his reach. There's pride in seeing Apple Music lead the charge. There's excitement in the sudden plus 31 jump. And there's anticipation. If this is happening now, quietly, what happens when momentum increases? These emotions fuel consistency, which in turn fuels rankings. Hashtag the industry signal hidden in plain sight. Industry insiders don't just look at who's number one. They look at movement. A stable climb without controversy is often more impressive than a volatile peak. These rankings sends a message. This artist retains digital gravity. Platforms benefit from his presence. Fans engage without needing external triggers. That's the kind of profile that invites long-term partnerships, playlist support, and strategic positioning. Hashtag Apple Music's role in redefining global power for years. Conversations around global success leaned heavily towards Spotify metrics. But Apple Music's growing influence, particularly in key markets, is reshaping that narrative. These 110 Apple Music points highlight a shift. It shows that success can no longer be measured through a single lens. Artists who adapt to multiple ecosystems thrive. This ranking is a case study in that evolution. Hashtag the quiet warning to everyone watching. There's also a warning embedded here, for other artists, for labels, for casual observers. Underestimating quiet consistency is a mistake. Rankings don't reward noise alone. They reward presence. V didn't need a viral moment to climb. He needed time, listeners, and diversified support. And that combination is harder to replicate than a one-week trend. Hashtag what comes next is the real question. The biggest question now isn't how V returned to the top 175. It's what this means going forward. If 272 points and a plus 31 jump can happen without a major push, what happens when activity increases? Will Apple Music continue to lead? Will other platforms catch up? Will this ranking climb again? The data suggests momentum, not closure. Hashtag a reminder wrapped in numbers at its core. This story is both simple and complex. Simple because the facts are clear. V is back in the top 175, ranked number 172, with 272 total points and 110 from Apple Music. Complex because those numbers represent global habits, emotional loyalty, strategic fandom, and an industry quietly taking notes. The reminder circulating with this news, diversify your streaming, be consistent, isn't just advice. It's the formula that made this moment possible. Hashtag why this moment will be remembered not because it was loud, not because it was flashy, but because it proved something enduring. Relevance doesn't fade when the music still lives in people's libraries. V's return to the global digital artist ranking isn't a comeback story built on drama. It's a continuation story built on trust, consistency, and global connection. And sometimes, those are the most powerful stories of all.